And the scene is set as Javier is waiting in the project for a meeting of some kind. There was a ghoul that came up to him during the night and just gave him a note with a place in the project and a time. So he's just standing around there right now, waiting for whomever is here to meet Javier.
Mr. Stitches is standing behind Javier and is watching him see if the coast is clear, and he goes up to him and just taps him on his left shoulder.
Javier turns around and now sees the big Slenderman-esque Mr. Stitches and takes a step back in fear and, well, mostly because Mr. Stitches is tall and Javier is not so tall. And Mr. Stitches is looming over him. And he goes, "Holy fuck, mierda! What the fuck, puta? What the fuck are you doing?"
Sorry about that, Mr. Rojas, but you understand that I have to remain unseen most of the time.
Shit, what fuck? You look more... Hey, I seen you. You were at the, casket or something like that. You fucking Slenderman or whatever your name is.
Yes, people have been calling me that recently. I must look it up. But I remember that day. It was when I first came to the city. You said a milliner, I think, in fact. He said his mother must have been as ugly as a Nosferatu. How nice of you.
Well, yeah. Well, but no bad means, you know?
I know we're not pretty, but there's no need to be cruel.
So, he looks you over and... What you Nosferatu guys want? I ain't done nothing to you. At least I ain't done nothing to you recently.
I'm not here on behalf of my clan. I'm here on behalf of myself. I've just purchased a premise in the city and I intend to stay. But I want to be able to defend myself. I hear you sell weapons.
You know, I have a gun shop and stuff like that. I can get you a weapon. What you looking for?
A gun, preferably short range. Something that I don't have to see very far to use. Shotgun, perhaps, something else? If you're the expert, maybe you can tell me.
Well, you know, I really like them Mossbergs or them Remingtons, you know? Good shotgun, 12 gauge, blows the stuff you want to dead.
That's cool.
Ain't
Very
the fucking
good.
capital going to fucking mess with you when you have a shotgun in your hands, yo?
And also, do you sell blades as well?
Well, we have some knives and stuff like that. Hunting.
Well, I'm looking for maybe just one or two combat blades, perhaps.
Well, shit. Let's. You can come over to my gun shop if you want. It's open, yo. We can take. Do you have a car?
The car, yes, it is waiting outside. I'm sure I can just go in the back right now.
Yeah, sure.
So Mr. Stitches then beckons Mr. Rojas to follow him out, and they go out of the warehouse into a waiting car. It's a World War II Mercedes, and you see the ghoul that went into the gun shop originally in the driver's seat, and Mr. Stitches, not obfuscated, just bombs right into the back of the car in his gangly, long-legged mess, and then basically beckons you in.
Well, Javier, having more balls than brains, takes a step towards the car, looks at it, whistles, and say, "Hey, next car," and he gets in.
Thank you very much. Reminds me of my younger days.
So you're like fucking ancient or something like that?
Pardon?
You're ancient, like, you know, Second World War type guy.
Let's just say that vampire stakes I'm very young, but when I was turned, I was very, very old. How old were you when you were embraced?
Well, you know, I was 21.
I had just turned 100.
Oh. Congratulations, I fucking guess. I will get your fucking cake.
Well, I did get my message from the Queen. Not that it meant very much.
So you're still living, eh? Well, official records.
No, I'm afraid I did pass away in the end. But my death was done very, very well. Everyone that's left in England that knows me thinks I'm in the grave.
Well, that's good for you. I haven't really faked my death yet, so still going under the same good old name, meeting with the same old folks. I even give my mom a call from time to time.
Very
And
good.
my abuela. I like my abuela.
I wish I could do the same, but I have been told that keeping kind ties can be problematic as the years go on. You probably will have to disappear at one point or another.
Yeah. Not doing that, but I've been around for so long and my face still looking as fucking sexy, and he brushes over his face. As I was when I first was embraced, I think I can go on at least until I'm like 4 years older than I am now.
Yeah, I'm sure you could pull that one off. Mr. Stitches has tapped on the back of the window and he's ordered his ghoul to drive back to the gun shop. So now they're actually driving along back to your premise.
Okay.
Stitches then turns to Mr. Rojas and says, Mr. Rojas, I hear you're what's called an anarch.
Well, I hear you and one of them, like, what you call them, cammies.
Yes, sounds so quaint when you say it like that. You have to bear in mind where I came from. I didn't really have a choice about what faction I was to join. It's very strict back in London.
Oh, well, then we're kind of the same, I didn't really have any choice in the matter, too.
Oh, really?
No, I heard London is like this big place with like this big old fucktard ventru cabron fucking gringo ganso, guy running the place, yeah?
Stitches looks at you and remains quiet for a little while and just tilts his head and says, that is one way to put it, Mr. Rojas. Things are very strict there. The Venture have been in control for a long time, and the main one that he's in control of, Mithras, is very old indeed. I never had the pleasure of speaking to him, but I was presented to him when I was embraced.
Okay, well, you see, where I come from, the fucking free states of California, we have like this anarch free state. There's just anarchs.
And how does that work?
We have like this guy who says he's like the local leader of like people. We call him a baron, and he's more or less a prince without the actual power over dictating people. He just sees that everything is working correctly and people don't fuck up.
So you still enforce rules?
Yeah, we follow the masquerade and stuff like that, but the other traditions, we go kind of soft on them.
Yeah.
So
it does seem like a lot of the traditions do seem to be very common sense.
Yeah. Well, people go around saying, "Oh, you shouldn't break the embrace rule or whatever it's called." And you go around embracing people like that and stuff, We kind of take that softly, If one guy is like embracing his fucking entire family or something like that, we would go up to him and say, "Hey, fucking cabron, what the fuck are you doing?"
Indeed, it does sound strange how the Camarilla do state that the rules are very important, but even the Sabbat don't run around showing themselves as vampires that often.
Yeah, well, they do. And, we had a problem with Sabbath once in LA. Went kind of quiet, though.
But they still don't break their own masquerade as such. If they did, everyone would be running around screaming, saying there was vampires everywhere, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, Sabbath of fucking measly guys. And the Camarilla has a lot of problems, too. A lot of politicians just pulling strings, thinking they're everyone. fucking boss, you know? Being oppressive and stuff like that. We don't have that in the Anarchs.
If you had a choice out of Camarilla or Sabat, which one would you choose?
Well, you know, it's like choosing between, like, AIDS or, like, Black Plague. You're gonna die anyway.
Stitches has a little giggle to himself when you say that.
So, I would... If there was a choice, I would fucking kill myself. But if push comes to shove, I would go Camarilla and give the prince a finger.
Indeed. It does seem that the structure in New Serum seems quite lax as it is. Apparently I'm meant to present myself to the prince, and I haven't managed to find him yet.
Oh, yeah, what's his name? Fuckface Sander or something. He's not in Chinatown, if I remember correctly. That was where I saw him anyway.
Well, I best find him soon, seeing as I have just got myself a property. It would be a waste if I had to leave.
He's a nice dude. Like, he's actually an Anarch, you know, sympathizer kind of guy.
Fair enough. And what do you do apart from selling guns and being an Anarch?
Well, you see, you get like an aux cable in this joint, and he points around in the car.
Pardon, Mr. Rojas, I didn't understand you then.
Do you have a like CD player or a cable that you can connect to an MP3 or something like that?
I think I do. I never use it. And then Stitches knocks on the back of the glass. He says, "Why? What have you got on you?"
He pulls into his jacket and takes out a CD. And on the cover you can see Unbundable Masses with the album cover Withering Roses. He hands it to the ghoul, I guess, and says, "Hey, Galito, put this on, yo."
Stitches will take the CD off you, and then he'll pass it through the divide, and then then it will shut, and then the CD will play. So what does Stitches hear?
Stitches would hear some like Rage Against the Machines kind of against the oppression, hardcore rock punk music or something like that, with someone shouting lyrics that anyone with expression 1 or 2 and some occult knowledge of the Vampire Society would understand that it's more or less about the oppression of the elders against the neonates and stuff like that.
Stitches listens for a while and says, "Yes, this is something my grandchildren would listen to. I haven't taken to it myself, but it's interesting stuff."
"Yeah, we're having a concert, yo. Should come." And he actually goes into his jacket one more time and hands you a flyer with some beer coupons.
Stitches takes the flyer and the beer coupons and looks at it and says, "Thank you very much, Mr. Rojas, but I'm afraid I'm not skilled in my clan's ways as yet where I could openly go to a place like that. If I knocked into someone, it could become very awkward."
Well, I think we're going to have a like VIP area, like out of the scene of everyone else. Can get you in the back way. And he actually takes the pamphlet out of your hands and takes out a pen and writes his number on it. "Just call me if you get her."
"Thank you very much, Mr. Rojas. If I can make it, I will turn up. I'm sure you can secure my privacy entering the building then."
"Yeah, sure, man." And I think this would be about the time we would pull up to Bob's Guns.
You carry on.
Well, you know, we would pull up. There would be a big neon sign that says Bob's Guns. A rather big shop with near warehouse that's connected to the main building. The glass windows leading into the shop is black tinted, so it's kind of hard to see in.
A very nice little premise you have there, Mr. Rojas. If you were to go first and open the door for me, I could follow you in.
Yeah, sure, whatever. And he takes a step outside the car, goes to the front of the shop, opens the door, checks inside. There's no customers, which there isn't for the sake of roleplay. And he holds the door open for you.
As you've turned away from Stitches, he will then shut the car. He will then basically obfuscate himself, as no one can see him and he's not moving. And then he will, obfuscated, walk into the building again, and then stand behind you and tap you on the shoulder again. Go, thank you very much.
He's going to take a step forward and say, "Oh fuck, man, you don't do that, yo."
Sorry. When I can make my face more palatable, I will stop doing this, I promise, Mr. Rojas. Forgive me.
Yeah, whatever. And he closes the door and locks the door. So, Mr. Slendy, whatever your name is, welcome
Stitches.
to the Stitches. Welcome to the Bed Bath and Beyond the fucking guts. And the walls would be filled with guns of all sorts, more or less.
Stitches looks around and then looks to you and says, "Well, I take your lead. Show me that weapon you was talking about so joyously in the warehouse."
And he goes behind the counter, and yeah, there is a ghoul here. An old army type guy, somewhat scarred, standing with his mouth wide open, holding a shotgun, kind of halfly pointing it at Mr. Stitches. Yeah, by the reaction, you could guess he has never seen Nosferatu before.
Will your boy be okay, or will he shoot me?
Javier taps his friend and says, "Well, this is Bob. I think he's an army veteran. He's just having one of them PSDs kind of things. Hey, Bob, snap out of it." And, Bob shakes his head and says, "What the fuck are you?"
I am like what I suppose your master is, Bob. A pleasure to meet you. My name is Mr. Stitches.
You people, I don't understand you people. Javier, I'm just going to the back. You take care of this, okay? And Javier, yeah, Bob, you do whatever, yo. And Bob walks to the back of the shop.
I trust he can keep his mouth closed.
Yeah.
Sink ships and all that.
Yeah, no worries, yo. He's schooled. He's keeping his mouth shut. Anyway, Javier begins to take up guns from behind the counter. So, you were looking for a shotgun, pistol? Yeah, you were looking for a shotgun, yeah.
Any weapon really, mainly, but close range, like I said, I can't really see that well these days. So this is for when I get cornered, or if I have to sneak up on someone.
So, well, you should get a handheld, like a pistol, and you should get a shotgun. The handheld would be for when you're in more formal places, you can wear it on you. And the shotgun would be when you're, like, at home, or out hunting, or whatever you're doing, and you have it in the car, whatever.
Okay, Mr. Rojas, yes. I'll take your advice. I will be in your hands, as it were, if you pick out what you think I need, and I will purchase them off you.
Well, let's see now. So, you got a permit?
No.
He's going to, look at you for a minute. You ghouls got a permit?
No.
Well then, He walks out the back and comes back with another shotgun and another pistol. Hands them over and puts it on the table. Well, this ain't legal. Just so you know. That would up the price a little bit.
Fair enough, Mr. Rojas. We're both businessmen. I don't mind paying for what I get if it's good quality.
And I'm going to stack some ammunition with it because, ammo you can get anyway. So this here, and he pulls the gun back, is it's a Russian kind of thing, what is called Toka Fakurev, something, Stalin kind of thing.
No, I don't, but never mind. So yes, so this is... Are they illegal because they are illegal, or are they illegal because they are... Forgive me, I'm mixing my words here. Are they what the normal public would be able to purchase?
Well, you see, here in Massachusetts, we have some big gun laws. You can't have, like, a magazine that holds more than 10 shots. You can't have these kind of things. You can't have a fully automatic gun. You can't have this and that. You can't have silencer either, so... this one is 12 rounds, 9mm, and it doesn't have the safety features and some signal things that the normal guns around here have.
Okay, good. I mean, I have fired guns before, but that was during the war, and it was a Lee Enfield rifle. I don't have very many of those.
No. We have some American stuff, but those are, you need the permits. That would be like M1 or something like that?
It was forgive me, it's been such a long time, an MK3. I was in the medical corps. We weren't really meant to have weapons, but when the shit hit the fan in Burma, we had to defend ourselves.
Well, and he takes up the shotgun, and this is a normal shotgun. It touches something 500. It's a normal shotgun, 12 gauge. I guess you know how to handle one, yeah?
Stitches will reach out his hand and take the gun off you, and you'll see him gingerly kind of use it, and you could possibly see that a long time ago he has handled a weapon, but it's been so long. But he kind of holds it. He's not too noobish with it, but kind of
okay.
He's been a bit coy with it. He's just looking.
And in ammunition's way, you get 9mm and 12 gauge. Do you want something something fast? I think I know some guy who has a AK or something like that. If you want to get something like that.
Yes, if you can source it for me, I'd be grateful. I have heard that AKs are, again, better at close range, less accurate.
Well, bigger punching power, fast firing gun, you can get a lot out of it. But this and some ammunition and stuff like that, I would guess if things for a minute. And I'm just going to check something. I guess. Shit. He goes around checking prices and stuff like that. Let's say 500.
Stitches will look at you and stop for a moment, and this yes, that seems fine. Like I say, you could be taking the rise, as it were, but I don't know better. I'm in your hands. A deal.
Yeah. They're used and stuff like that, so they wouldn't be so pricey. And he points at another one of the guns. One of these, new and stuff like that, would be $200 or something like that, and that's a pistol that he's pointing at. And one of these would be 400, and he points at the shotgun. So I think 500 is a good deal.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rojas. And by the way, here's my card. And Stitches will reach into his pocket and he'll give you his card. which says Jebediah Stitches, Master Tailor, and he'll just hand it to you.
Yeah, cool. So, you're tailor.
Yes, that's my trade. I've just done a suit for Mr. Dunson. I remember you were quite taken to him when you met him in the casket.
Oh, Ewan. And you will see. Let's just, for the sake of every fun stuff. Yeah, he holds up. You see him like kind of drift away for a second, and you say, "Oh, Ewan. Ah, yeah, he's nice. He's a cool guy. Kind of, wouldn't mind bumping into him if you know what I mean."
Well, I am doing business with the Giovanni family, so I probably will see him again soon. I could pass on a message if you liked.
Yes, say I'm thinking about him.
How quaint. I shall do that for you.
So, Mr. Jebediah Stitches,
Mm-hmm.
would there be anything else?
No, not at the moment. Thank you very much for the weapons. I can take them now, can't I, with the ammunition?
Yeah, sure. You got cash or something on you?
Yes, I have cash on me. And he'll go into his pocket and he'll just take out a money clip with like a big wad of cash on it, and he'll just like count out the amount. Was it $500 again? Or...
Yeah, 500 for the guns. Let's say 100, and I'll give you like 5 boxes of ammo each, just because I'm a fucking pal.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rojas. And he counts out the money again and just hands you over the green. I'm still getting used to dollars, you see. It doesn't really click in my head, so used to pound sterling.
Ah. Well, yeah. It's kind of easy, Say one thing is worth $100 and stuff will be, good for you. Anyway, people don't really use money in our kind of business anyway. Everyone's going around, ooh, I want favors.
Yes, I have been told that. Boons, they're called, are they not?
Yeah.
Do you go along with that school of thought? Obviously not.
Well, if another would come up to me and say, yo, Rojas, I fucking want your help. And I would go, hey, you owe me one. When you got my back sometime. I wouldn't be, I want a big boon for that. Or a life boon. We trust each other to have our back when we have theirs and stuff like that.
Well, I may not be an anarch, but I trust we could be friends. And if you ever needed to pass a message on to the Nosferatu, you could come to me. And if you ever needed to pass a message on to the Giovanni, you could come to me.
Well, actually, I'm kind of looking for a guy. His name is, what's his name? Joey. Big guy, well, not big, with a tie and, like, going around having a big hammer, sledge kind of axe thing.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rojas, I don't know that particular gentleman. I've only really mixed with kindred that night we met. And since then, with my own kind in the sewers, I can't give you any information, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah. Do you know a guy, Eric Summers?
I have heard of him, but I have not met him.
Well, if you can get me where he is, and, set up a meeting, I would be so fucking glad.
Oh, really? Why would you want to meet him?
Well, anywhere, somewhere remote, somewhere with a high point you can drop down a 50 cal at.
Please, let me be candid here, Mr. Rojas. When it comes to matter of clan, I am very loyal indeed. So if you did wish this man harm, I would not help you. I hope this doesn't offend you.
Well, not that I want him any harm. I just want to teach him a lesson, because he bought guns from me. And, he's a Nosferatu. Okay, yeah, so the last time a Nosferatu bought guns from me, he came in here, bought some guns, and then he used them against me. So.
Yeah, I have no
Don't-
intention of using these weapons against you, Mr. Rojas.
Well, and you won't have like 50 cal pointing at your head, Mr. Stitches. But anyway, other than that, I'm good.
Oh, good. Well, if I do meet the gentleman, I will speak of you. Maybe it can be settled amicably, but we shall see. And I'd like you to think that even though I am a member of the Camarilla, technically, I do have leanings to your movement.
Hey, fucking great, yo. If you ever want something, explained, or if you need help, you got my number. And if you need another guy in a firefight, I'm your guy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rojas. I'm sure this will be a long-term friendship.
Yeah. Anyway, he looks at his clock. Well, I got a date.
Oh, good for you, sir. Good for you. And I best be going as well. If you open the door for me and turn away, I can just disappear.
He will jump over the counter and go to the door and open it and, look away from you.
As Javier Rojas looks away, obviously Stitches will obfuscate himself. But before he goes, he say, "Goodbye, Mr. Rojas. It was a pleasure meeting you." And then he will walk out of the building.
And as that happens, he closes the door and say, "Well, fucking Nosferatu, my fucking best customers." And this is where the scene ends.